What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the title, my girlfriend and I tried to get pregnant 3 times. This is gonna be hard. First, disclaimer, I want you guys to know that my girl gave me full consent to talk about everything I'm about to talk about right now. So I just wanted to clear the air with that. Yeah, she's not in the video. She doesn't really care to be in videos, and I respect her for that. I'm going to talk about how we've tried to conceive, the emotions that we felt every time, what we plan to do, what is happening currently, where we're at. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments, or if you're not comfortable, you could always DM me your personal experiences or any type of feelings that you felt if you've gone through things like this. Before we hop into it, my name's Kyle, aka Prince Kyle, don't forget it, and I have an Instagram as well as a TikTok where I share my female to male transition as well as give tips to anybody that would like to hear about it. Also, can you guys see a difference with the background? I think I really like it. I'm gonna make my videos in this kind of calm setting. I feel like this vibe is just, it's me. Let's just hop into it. As a kid, I never really was one to want children, but the reason for that is because I knew I was a part of the LGBTQ, and back then I didn't have any knowledge on all of the advancements that are around nowadays. I didn't know anything about how people within the LGBTQ could have children, so I kind of just said it can't happen for me and I don't really care. But as I got older, I became more educated, and things have become a lot more advanced than they were when I was a kid. So now I'm realizing that it is possible for me. My last relationship, we did talk about having children, but we never really got far with it, so it was just a short-lived fantasy. But this relationship that I'm in right now is the most serious relationship I've ever been in, and she actually has her own biological child who is 7 years old, who most of you guys do know, and I do consider him my stepson. He considers me dad, and this is my first rodeo in the parent life, I guess you could say, and I'm happy that I was fortunate enough to have things work out the way they did. I'm happy I kind of got to tiptoe into parenthood with my girlfriend's son and kind of get a feel for what it's like to be a parent. It's cool, and it just makes me realize that I am capable of doing something I didn't think I was capable of doing. Never would have thought I'd be a father, but here we are. The reason I'm telling you guys this is because I've been open and honest about everything at this point, and I feel like you guys deserve to know a lot of what goes on behind the scenes, and part of being transgender is dealing with things like this. So it's very important to me that I educate or just kind of shed light on the situation. My girlfriend and I, we both have talked about having a child together. We are both on the same page with things. She wants one more, and I just want one, I guess you could say, like from the ground up. I want to be able to say that I helped raise a child from birth to finish. And so we are both on the same page for that, and she really, really wants to give me my first child. So the way we both agreed to go about it is through a sperm donor. I really didn't want to go through the foster care system just because, like I said, I want to be able to raise the child from the ground up, and I want to be able to see my girlfriend go through the entire process of conception to the baby growing inside of her stomach to the due date, driving to the hospital like a crazy man, and watching my baby get delivered. So that's why I didn't want to go through like the foster care system. And yeah, the best thing for us was really just the sperm donor route. Also, I can biologically still have children that I know of because I still have the anatomy to do so, but I have been on testosterone for now 7 years, and that pretty much means I would have to stop taking testosterone, see if my period can even come back at this point, and then they would have to retrieve my eggs. But I'm in a point where I don't want to have to do all of that. I've already transitioned. Why would I want to backtrack? A lot of trans men do this, but personally it's not for me, and I don't want to go through with it. So I could have retrieved my eggs before starting testosterone, but me being impatient, I did not want to wait, and I just wanted to start testosterone. So I pretty much gave up the option of having my own biological children, and that is okay. I would still be very, very fortunate and happy to go through a donor and see that child as mine. Makes it no different. So the way we decided to go through with it is through a sperm donor. I'm not going to get into detail of how we tried each time, but we tried two different donors. The first one really wasn't that great of a candidate, and I hate to say it, but I'm kind of happy that it didn't take, just because of the process. It just wasn't a good fit. But the first go around, we did it at home, and we waited a few weeks, and I will say that the feeling that I had was that of no other. It was super magical. It was it's hard to explain, but it's a feeling of just like, whoa, like in a few weeks I could be saying that I'm about to have a child. Like, it's a feeling I never would have thought I'd have, because I never really saw myself having kids. So it was really, really cool to experience that. But when it didn't take, I wasn't too messed up about it. She was kind of upset just because she really, really, really wants to give me a child. And so she did take it a little bit harder than me, but I wasn't too messed up about the first go around. The second time, this would be the time that we tried this donor twice, and this was a much better candidate. He resembled me a lot better than the first person did. We wanted somebody African American, obviously, because I'm African American, so we want the baby to resemble kind of both of us. So the baby would be mixed because my girlfriend is 100% white, and so we wanted a black donor. So we found a donor, and he was a good match for us. So the second go around, we were tracking her ovulation and all of that, and mind you, I never knew that there was like a legit science behind women having a period. Although I've had a menstrual cycle, I never knew that it was like a legit like time frame, and I didn't know that there was a time that was like best to try and conceive. I never knew all that until my current girlfriend. I was extremely hopeful this time. The donor, like I said, was perfect, and I just really, really wanted this to work out for us. And so when it came time for her to take a pregnancy test, it came back negative. And that one was harder for me, because at this point I'm getting so round up, like, holy crap, like, we're in the middle of trying, and like, this is really gonna happen. Like, you already have a child, so we know you're capable of having children, and so like, this is really it. After this time, when it came back negative, we took a little break because we were both getting kind of frustrated with the situation. We happened to go to the mall. She had to go to the bathroom, and so I was waiting for her outside the bathroom, and she texted me, and she was like, she said that she may have had a miscarriage, and I asked her what she meant by that, and she said, well, I've had a miscarriage back in the day, and I'm seeing the same symptoms that I saw when I had that miscarriage. And I told her to show me, and she did. And we're not entirely sure if it was a miscarriage. Whatever it was, it passed, and that was the end of it. So we are still kind of unsure of what exactly it was. And it is common where people can have early miscarriages to where it just flushes out, and that's the end of it. But so yeah, we took a lengthy break after that with trying for a bit. The third time, we used that same second donor, and again, we tried again. I was extremely hopeful. At this point, my girlfriend's kind of just, she didn't want to get overly excited, because she's someone who, if like she gets too excited, then it could be a huge letdown. And so she was kind of just, let's see what happens. And so the time came for her to take another pregnancy test, and we were both very hopeful, but kind of just remaining calm about it. And the test came back negative a third time. And so that was the end of that. My girlfriend happened to leave that pregnancy test out, and then she went to work the next day. And me, being the overly excited person I am, I saw it when I was cleaning around the house, and I saw the test. And for any of you guys that don't really know about pregnancy tests and how they work, we use the one that just shows the single line or the double line. Single line meaning you're not pregnant, double line meaning you're pregnant. And I looked at the test, and it said a double line. And I think I just got super overwhelmed because I've never seen a positive test before. So like, in the back of my mind, I probably knew, hey, it's a false positive. But in that moment, I was like, holy crap, it's a positive, it's a positive. I gotta call my girl, I gotta call. And I called her up and I told her, and she was like, baby, I really doubt it, but I'll take a look at it when I get home. And she also works in a pharmacy, so she asked a coworker of hers, the pharmacist, and was like, hey, what can this mean? And they even said, like, oh, it could probably be a false positive. That could happen if you leave a negative test out too long. And that was a really big letdown for me because I just wanted so bad for it to just actually be a positive, because I was finally seeing a positive test, and then to realize it wasn't was like a big letdown. I don't know, I can only speak for myself, but for me, having so much privilege to be able to pick and choose when I have children can be very, very hard, because there's days where I'm like, actually, maybe I don't. Maybe I just am content where I'm at. And then there's other days where I'm like, no, I want a baby like yesterday. I want it now, now, now. Not a second later, we're doing this. And it sucks having so much privilege to be able to pick and choose it, because for people who can't pick and choose and who can naturally have children and have accidents happen and have to just deal with the consequence, it kind of pushes you into parenthood. And for a lot of people, it pushes them to where, yeah, maybe they didn't want to have a baby, but now the baby's here and they love that baby unconditionally and wouldn't change it for the world. I can't have that type of situation happen for me. So for me to be able to keep going back and forth, like, it makes it very hard, because it's like, all right, like, do you want a child or do you not? So having that feeling can be very, very frustrating, because there's never a point in time where God can just be like, hey, you're having a baby whether you want it or not. For me, it's like I'm making that choice, and it just can be very difficult. It can be kind of hard too, just as a trans man with a girlfriend who does want another child. It can be a very dysphoric feeling, because you know that your girlfriend wants a baby and you cannot give her that baby. So I try very hard to stay positive about the situation. My girlfriend is very, very supportive, and she's very understanding. She would never make me feel any less because I can't give her the child. But she, like I said, she wants to give me a baby so, so bad. And it would just be amazing to see her carrying my child. Like, the thought of it, it would be so beautiful. That's where we're at right now. Do we plan on trying again? So my girl, she promised to herself that she will not try after 30. She is 27 right now, so she's got a little bit of time, and I am okay with her decision. It's her body and her choice. I would never make her have children past the time that she doesn't want to have children anymore. So if she does not have a child by 30, then she plans on closing up the shop and being content with her son right now. She's already content with her son, but she will definitely not be trying after 30 years old. Like I said, I'm so back and forth with, like, all right, do I really want children? Do I not? Am I content with a stepson? Am I not content? Like, where am I at mentally? But I only have about 2.5 years left before my girl's, like, just done with the idea. There's a lot of, I don't want to say there's a lot of pressure, and I don't want her to think that there's a lot of pressure, but it is, like, kind of a time crunch for me to really make the decision on, like, what we're gonna do here on out. But these 3 failed pregnancy tests really made me kind of sit back a little bit, and the frustration, it's a lot. And anyone who has gone through situations like this knows what I'm talking about. It can be very, very hard seeing consistent negative tests when everyone around you is getting pregnant like it's nothing. I constantly, and I don't want to compare myself to people on social media or people I grew up with, but it can be very frustrating for somebody at my age. I'm 28. It can be very frustrating seeing all the people you grew up with and all the people you went to high school with having their first, second, and third child, and you're still in the background like, is it even possible for me? Like, is this even going to be a thing? The family I have now, I'm very, very blessed to have. My girlfriend's very blessed to have her son, very blessed to have me, and we are content, but it would be nice to just add another little one to the family, especially one that could be from me and my girlfriend. And we both were ready to expand the family. So for now, We're content. We're doing what we can. We got a couple more years to figure things out and see where life takes us, but I wanted to share that with you guys because I've literally told you about everything, and pregnancies and things along those lines for the trans community can be a really big topic, and I know a lot of trans people have questions on how to even go about becoming a parent, and I just wanted to share my experience and what we're trying to do to make it happen. My thoughts are all over the place. My emotions are all over the place. I am going to therapy. I'm going to start bringing it up and talking about my feelings about what's been happening with trying to conceive, and hopefully they can alleviate some of the feelings I have. For anybody who is going through things like this, just know you're really not alone. There are so many of us who are in the same situation. Whether you are cisgender and just can't have biological children, whether you're transgender, non-binary, whether you just don't want to have biological children and you want to go through a different route, it's happening to a lot of us, and I just want to be another person who documents it and lets you in on the journey. So again, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. We are literally only a couple hundred away from 40,000 subscribers. You guys are amazing, and I love making content for you. So continue to follow the journey, and I will continue to post about it. Love you. Peace. You go.